much is happening out in this world. Where are you now? I am so worried about you. Can you please let me know that everything's okay? I don't know what to say, so I'm going to make this not very long because I don't know if you're going to get it, but so much of what's happening out in the world, you know, I'm trying to be brave. We talk about this all the time. The words enduring courage, tenacious hope. Those are the things I hang on to, and I hope that you're hanging on to those too. But right now, my heart is breaking. There is so much sadness and betrayal and suffering and sacrifice. There's so much happening out in the world. I've decided to re-enter some of the rituals of grief because right now, my dearest friend, I feel like we are entering a time of mourning. I am entering a time of mourning. Once upon a time, people wore black bands around their arm. It was a symbol to mark that they had had a loss, that there was something to mourn in their home, something to mourn in their community. And that's the way I feel right now. I am mourning for the loss of what's going on around us. Trying to remember to breathe. And so I wanted to just show you a little bit, my friend, just as a reminder that it really hit home for me the other night. We had a terrible, terrible storm. I wish I could have gotten a picture of it for you, but it was so loud and so dark and so overwhelming. All you would have heard was noise. Thunderous, relentless noise. All I could think was, please don't let the hail break my windows. Please don't let the hail hurt my little cow friends that are all around. I think of all the baby cows and the assault. It went on for hours and hours. Just an assault. Everything was flooded. But the next morning I got up and I was reminded about the magic of the desert in times of great terror and trauma. The sand, it drains the water so quickly, and all that's left behind are patterns. It's fascinating to walk around from one day to the next and see the tremendous amount of change that happens just in the ground itself. I wanted to show you these hills. There are so many flowers and plants I've never seen before. Around the world, especially in the western U.S., there are such tremendous stories of drought and starvation and dehydration and loss. And yet, in our little pocket of the world here, I've never seen such greenery. I've never seen such an abundance of flowers and plants I've never seen before, and how fat the baby cows are getting. But I still have those images of the baby cows and the mommy cows in Mexico and other places in this country and this world that are lying down and dying because there's no water and there's no food. There's no simple answer. It's never equal and fair for everybody everywhere. But these are some of the things the desert teaches me, that you never know where you might find a little hidden pocket of a treasure, like water, or these beautiful pink flowers that got a little creamed when I was in the storm, but I wanted to show you the brilliance of their color. Of all the different types of plants that are growing, but at the same time these contrasts in the terrain, from jagged edges where water has gone rushing to fields that now look green and lavender from these two plants, the grasses and the lavender plants of nightshade. It's just stunning to look at And I think we're all having such different experiences. And to keep in touch during this time, it's really helping me to know that you're okay, to know what's going on with you. I really like hearing your story about where you are in the world, what injustice you're fighting, what you're struggling with. So much is getting lost in this moment of time. But I keep asking myself these what if questions. What if we came together in such a way that we honored the mourning of our losses together? What if we took a moment to just let ourselves cry and really absorb the sorrow of this world right now? What if we just breathed deeply, we went outside and put our feet and our hands on the ground and remembered who we really are? What if we looked up in the sky from the early morning to the sunset and realized just how tiny we are? And just in case we're not sure, go out at night and see all the stars and the vastness of the universe. How tiny we are compared to all that is everything. And in our way, our life is so important. But also, just a tiny moment. And as we come to this period of time where I feel like these are just our last days that we can talk to each other, that we can see each other, that we can share in all these creative formats, I just keep asking, how do I want to spend this time for myself and with you? And it's just to share this moment. And for me, my moment is a period of mourning. I think it's time to bring back some of those rituals, the way we managed our grief and our sorrow. Because the third thing that I really believe passionately is that joy is the answer. But what I know is you can't get to deep, abiding joy until you move through the grief and the loss, the cavernous grief and loss. You have to clean it all out. You have to shine light in all of it before there's room for that deep joy to come in. It's not happiness. It's not a brief moment of pleasure, but I'm talking about that deep joy of life itself. That is the last piece to this puzzle, this human crucible. Enduring courage to go in and get through, tenacious hope to hold on to as we're moving through it, and at the end, when we've cried and we've seen and we've been betrayed and we've all the massive amount of emotions that go with this crucible process, then we can find that joy. And the part that I like best, and that's that's the devil on my shoulder, not the angel, is that it's the most subversive thing you can do, is to get back to your joy in the midst of this tremendous amount of grief and sorrow and trauma and crisis and suffering and sacrifice and loss. If you can get through all that, if you can allow yourself to get through all that and get to the other side, there is this deep peace and joy that comes, and no matter what's happening, you can find your way back to it. And there's nothing more important than to ground into the earth and the ethers than this deep and abiding joy for life itself. So it's not a bad thing to mourn, but it's a good thing to move through that process of. And so I don't know where you are, Zoe. I don't know what's going on with you. I am going to trust that I will hear from you, that you will let me know everything is okay, that you will tell me how things are in your part of the world, wherever that is. But we're going to say goodbye. I'm going to say goodbye. Freedom's up there sleeping. And I look so forward to the next letter that I get from you. That little tiny window into your life that lets me know I am not alone. That you are there and I am here, and no distance can separate us. Because in this place, we are safe in the company of each other. So with that, my friend, I look forward to seeing you next time.